IKCO celebrated its independence because of this.
سمند به سرعت باد است و به آرامش نسیم. مجهز به ترمز ABS، مجهز به سیستم تعویض کننده لوح فشرده، با امکان دسترسی به صندوق عقب و دریچه تعبیه شده برای قرار دادن چوب اسکی، همراه با خدمات ویژه کارت طلایی و ضمانت 3 ساله خودرو. سمند، یک تجربه برای احساس امنیت. سمند، روابط عمومی گروه صنعتی ایران خودرو.
Before I start talking about the car, I want to clarify something. When I said this car could be considered a replacement for the Peugeot 405, I didn't mean it actually replaced it. As many of you know, the 405 was produced in Iran until just 3 to 4 years ago. What you are seeing on the screen is the very first Samand introduced in 2002. The very first thing that stands out is the size and shape of the rear lights, which are reminiscent of 1980s European sedans. The large rear bumper has given the car a rather bulky rear and appearance. At the front, the rectangular headlights and the bumper that blends well with the hood has created a relatively cohesive front fascia. Keep in mind, this is the early Samand, a model that's no longer available. I'm trying to give you a sense of how the Samand's journey began. This particular model was later replaced by the Samand SE and remained in production until 2017. As I was filming, I got the chance to show you an Iranian accident. We can find reckless drivers everywhere who think the streets are racetracks. Over time, Samand evolved into several variants. One of the more common versions is the Samand LX. From the rear view, you'll notice the updated taillights and a more refined trunk design. Everything feels more aligned and intentional. At the front, the vertically slanted grille and minor tweaks to the bumper give the car a more modern and polished look. If I had to guess what inspired this facelift, I'd say it reminds me of the 5th generation Volkswagen Passat, particularly in its proportions and front lighting. LX remained on the market until 2021. Samands generally have 2 engines. One of them is XU7, which we have already talked about it, and the other one is EF7. EF7 too claimed to be the first Iranian engine. EF7 was produced with the help of German engineers, a 1.7 liter 4-cylinder inline engine. The EF7 engine was designed to run on CNG, that is compressed natural gas. It can also operate efficiently on gasoline, or what we call petrol. Even in extremely cold temperatures, the engine can start in CNG mode. This 16-valve engine was engineered with precision mapped computer system to reduce engine noise and vibrations, especially when idling. However, I'm not sure if it really worked. In terms of emissions, the EF7 is capable of meeting Euro 5 environmental standards. Alright, so I decided to start with the very first model of Samand, and I was lucky enough to find one. To my surprise, the car was remarkably intact. It didn't have a serious accident, just a couple of minor incidents and nothing major. As I always do, I adjusted the seat and jumped behind the wheel. The interior was extremely basic. The AC controls are the basic mechanical type, where you can adjust temperature and fan speed by sliding handles. If you look at the lower part of the center console, you will see a few buttons. That's actually the car's built-in computer, which was considered a real innovation back then. Although it wasn't working in this specific car, back in the day it could warn you about maintenance issues, like when to change the oil, or even alert you if a door was left open, and obviously using a voice warning system. I admit the wooden trim on the dashboard and doors, though they are clearly faux wood, look pretty nice for its time. If you are wondering about the price, this more than 20 years old car is currently up for sale for $3,000. Okay, let's move on to the Samand LX model. I waited for the owner to bring his car outside of the parking lot. Again, I adjusted the seat and jumped behind the wheel. To be honest, I was shocked. I really didn't know that the interior is just like the early models. The only noticeable change was the AC control unit. Oh, I forgot one more point. The seat was electronically adjustable. I could slide it back and forth using a button. Such an accomplishment. I didn't drive either of the cars by myself, unfortunately. I let the owners take the wheel and I enjoyed the scene. I can tell you guys the older model was perfectly fine. As I mentioned earlier, that's what the Swift horse is all about. There is another Samand which I should dedicate another episode to it. But the production of this Samand ended 3 years ago, and the price tag on the latest models is around $6,000. Okay folks, thanks for watching this episode. Please subscribe to my channel.